Hey, Internet, we're back. Talos Principal. We're back in the first area. We're getting more sigils.
Yep. Gotta get them. Gotta spend money to make money. Gotta.
So we're gonna Trio Bombasticus. Oh, I get it. So it's the. That name is the name of.
That's the name of the puzzle.
The puzzle, and that the puzzle. It basically describes the puzzle. That's really cool. So right at the end of the video, the first video, we mentioned that the star doors. That is the function of how you get the ability to talk to other players.
Yeah, I mean that's how that's kind of the end game of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming it's not as simple as go grab that thing right there.
No, yeah. There's a gate in the way.
There is a mine right next to the. So this introduces us to the idea that we can point two jammers at one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
So now we could jam the mine a couple times so that it wouldn't explode as soon as we picked up the jammer, so that we can now let the mine go.
And then go grab this and run out of here. Yep.
So yeah, the whole first world is pretty much just like tutorial, but I mean, I guess most of the it's not dissimilar from Portal in that most of the game is like tutorials on how to play the game.
Yeah, because like
it keeps introducing more and more mechanics over time,
which is really cool.
I mean, it's a good way to do it.
Music, though.
Yeah, I know. The first world has probably my favorite theme.
All right, here we go.
So this is one of the ones from a player.
Okay, so Nivomi says sometimes...
Sometimes you have to have the courage to break down barriers with an axe. So we'll come back to that, because there's a reason he put that marker there.
Interesting. I'm assuming because there's a secret door or something there.
Can we like lure a mine over there and blow up it, or a wall or something?
Well, it does... I will say it does require taking tools out of a puzzle. Which is a thing you can't do, because if you try and actually just pick a thing up, the purple doors, like in Portal, they stop you from taking things out.
Yeah.
That's what I figured, but so there's probably some tricky outside puzzle ways to do
Oh yeah,
things.
no,
I love puzzle games like that where you get cool stuff for like it rewards you for basically not following the game's rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is great.
And so this also introduces us to the idea that we can't take things through purple doors.
Yeah.
Right. So now we've stopped both bombs.
Yep.
Where?
And nothing over there. You really want something to be over there, but there isn't.
There it is. I love the look of the sigils. They're so cool.
Yeah, that they have this sort of chipped metal, or like metal with paint chipping off of them for some reason. Everything in this game looks... Even though, like, everything in this game looks really, really old, which kind of fits back into the thing of the, that came to us in the first part of the,
Also, I'd like to point out that every statue has its head removed.
Yeah, well, you notice that they all have togas, too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can avoid, if you run through quick, you can not...
Yeah,
get shot, yeah.
So, you remember, we just learned that we can point two jammers at a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So...
Aha.
So
now we have this extra jammer.
Hey.
Oh. Tricky.
Well, I love the way the jammer looks. Like, it's just... It looks like
since that area wasn't covered by the purple, we can go back to...
Right,
right. So, we go to this... So, Nivomi pointed out this area to let us know that there's a switch back here.
Oh, and that lets you pull that down.
Which opens up this extra puzzle room.
Neat. That's really cool.
In which to complete it, you need to grab a jammer from elsewhere in the level. That's pretty neat.
Ah, and so we get the star. Awesome.
Yay, good job, gold star.
Thanks, Nivomi.
Yeah. You helped me out there in more ways than one. I definitely didn't talk to you on Steam about some of these.
Oh, that's actually one of the other player ones?
Yeah, that's, he's, it actually only shows you things from Steam friends who have gotten the special ending to the game.
Oh, cool.
Oh, neat.
Alright, so we got everything. We are done with the first world.
Done with World 1, now going to World 2. What wonders lie in store in Door 2?
Door number 2.
So, on the note of we're playing a robot, I don't know if the game is doing this, but I have...
These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the Great Tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
That's such a 2010 reference. Oh, that's so good. All these worlds are yours except Europa. Attempt no landings there. Oh, I love it.
Well, and then also we're mashing together the Tower of Babel with the Garden of Eden.
Alright, so we've got access comm portal, connecting network drives. No network accessible. So we're querying the MLA. Query troubleshooting.
Yeah, so this is achieved by him. It's the same thing it said the first time. I don't know why it gave it us again. It gave it to us again.
I think you like help accessing network functions. The most common cause of network problems is holding insufficient account privileges. Enter the admin password to authenticate your privileges. QWERTY, let me in.
God, trust no one.
Checking. Okay, so let me in. Password incorrect. Admin. Too many failed attempts.
Would you like to create
a new admin account? Prove you are not a bot.
But we are a bot.
Alright, so we're generating certification part 1. Complete all fields. Time is a factor. Begin certification program. Yes.
Yeah, so you have to respond to everything instinctively, like a person.
2, 1.
2 plus 2 equals...
2 plus 2 equals 4. What was your subjective reaction to this image? Face. What best describes a person? Human being. A rational animal. Anything. To come across thirsty travelers. Eyes bulge from slow dehydration. You have water, but you're not sure how far it is to the next oasis. What do you do?
Kill him and collect him and collect his blood in a flask for later.
Offer half the water. Alright. So, we gotta wait for part 2 to be generated.
Ian.
Alright, so from Frank Nagati to Miles Nagati, Dan Nagati. Subject Ian, my first day at the Institute for Applied Pneumatics. On the way to work, I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm a complete buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there. Trembling, I walk in, and right at the entrance, there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. What the hell? Then I get it. Institute for Applied Pneumatics. Ian. Dr. Ian Malcolm from the Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Sarabi shows up smiling. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the Institute was founded. She says, Inan, Apan, Inapano. It all sounded stupid. We didn't just want to call it Ian because, well, that's a name. And someone made a joke about calling it Jeff and kind of stuck. So we're officially called Ian, but if you hear anyone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name, I guess. I know. Bloody geeks. After that conversation, I wasn't so scared anymore. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
There's a few more references to Jeff Goldblum.
User Alexis added 4 notes. Note 1. Something novel's first sentence. She woke up in an impossible place knowing nothing. Signifies more than the beginning of another amnesia-based mystery, though we should not go so far as to read the entire work as allegory. Rather, while taking the science-fictional novus at the core of the narrative at face value, we should corrupt the data. Note 2. Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we are told by others and what our own subjective, flawed, limited senses tell us, truth was only the daughter of time. Social reality, belief, and objective reality matter come into conflict. Note 3. When in Chapter 16, The Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the nothing. Note 4. More meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of...
Synthesis of what? What?
I'm calling it now. We're in this story.
Yeah, I think so. Talos principle.
awakening and needing to rely only on others.
Straton of Stagiria, whether it's true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. I like that.
So, that's the titular Talos principle.
Mm-hmm.
So, the idea that a machine might...
Man is a machine no matter what. Yeah.
Man is a machine, machine is man.
Sheep. I can't tell if the documents on the terminals are all that's left from a larger archive or are carefully designed to communicate some hidden truth.
And then, oh yeah, here's the fourth means, audio logs.
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule, write letters to the future, so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now, bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking. For as long as I can.
So, one thing I'm interested in is the... now, I will preface this with that I'm about to talk about one of the most JRPGs.
You know.
I know, right? It's surprising. But I recently played a game called Arno Surge, which is basically in the same universe and by the same creators of Art and Ellico, for anyone who might know what for anyone who happens to know what that is.
I do not, but carry on.
So, the game has two protagonists. One of those protagonists is a robot. The robot isn't really a character. The robot is you controlling the robots.
Huh.
And this is important in universe, as the fact that you can switch between the protagonists, and therefore have knowledge that one protagonist gains that the other doesn't, as the player, that the other character doesn't know yet.
Huh.
And they play a lot with the idea that you, the player, are part of the game by controlling this robot, and that everybody is aware that your only interaction with the world is through this game-like interface.
That's not too different in a respect from Off, in that I like a JRPG. I kind of like when a when a JRPG acknowledges the limitations of its own format, but I also like when a game outright just acknowledges that it's a game.
Mm-hmm. So what are you trying to do right here? Are you just
I'm trying to find some keys.
Okay. Hey, there we go.
Keys actually don't come into play until a later puzzle, so they're not even a mechanic that has been introduced to the game yet.
Gotcha. So you'd have to go back and find these anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, save some backtracking later. But yeah, no, and in fact, it's interesting because they do this both as an interesting narrative thing, but it affects the story and the emotion of the story, because you are supposedly, as the robot is like, each main character has a partner that they're with, and the robot's partner, like, so one of the conceits of the Art and Ellico games and Arno Surge as well is that you can dive into the heads, basically into... Oh, hello.
So this is basically, there's some areas that are open, and this is how they box you in.
You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat.
That's really cool.
If you take another step back, then it plays a rewind sound and takes you to the beginning of the level.
Yeah, where are the words? And I'm increasingly convinced that we are actually like in a story.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
Maybe we're like trying to decode the Bible or some other mythical text or something by creating like a simulation of it.
So there's a couple QR codes that you can't actually scan, and these actually you have to scan with a phone.
Alright, so Uriel 4 says there are secrets everywhere, sometimes within our very words. I glimpse them, but my eyes cannot read them. How can this be? That's funny. Can't read them, you have to actually check them.
Yeah. Oh. So the ones from Uriel are actually secrets about secrets.
Nice. Cannot load archive, Milton John. The road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom. That day I oft remember when from sleep I first awaked and found myself reposed under a shade on flowers, much wondering where and what I was, whence thither brought. It was poetry. Topic number 3. One day you discovered that you were not a human being but a machine. Your life so far was real, no one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capacities are identical to those of an organic human being, but you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you are a regular human being like themselves. You could continue to live your life the way you have before and nothing would change. How do you react? Pay specific attention to these questions. A. Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? B. Does your understanding of the world itself change? C. Do you reveal the information to others, or do you keep it to yourself? Why? 15 to 2,000 words, the 26th of the final deadline, no extensions will be granted. Submit by email or facebook.com/crowteam.
Oh,
Great.
that's why, because this game dropped on December 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they tell you to do? What was the date too?
Write a story about. So send it by the 26th.
That's hilarious.
All these calm people driving me mad. Did they suddenly turn to Buddha or something? I didn't know the world had such reserves of serenity. Though these latter-day Gaudamas are somewhat realistic. You know what's even worse? Those paranoid nutters that are building bunkers and collecting guns. What are they gonna do? Shoot blank? Though I admit the overall response has been much better than anticipated, to the point where I might be moved by the beauty of humanity if I wasn't such a grumpy old fart. This minority of total idiots is totally messing up my final days. Anyway, the reason I'm writing is because I refuse to believe in scenarios with absolutely no solutions. If we put our heads together, we can figure something out. It'll be crazy, but crazy's better than dead. Crazy's what we do best on this planet.
Sorry, my aunt came in the room.
That's fine.
Get outside the...
You also notice that this is a different kind of computer than we've been talking on.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually...
it's one labeled Ian.
Yeah, and you notice also it has some of the Tetrominoes and other stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if you can find the Ian terminals, those give you more in-depth information, I guess.
Yeah. Presumably.
But they might be out of the way, I'm assuming.
Yeah, presumably they are less corrupted.
But yeah, no, but...
Oh.
As I was gonna say, you can dive into the heads of the partner characters, and one of my,
One of your what?
One of my, sorry, I was looking to see what's happening too. One of my favorite parts is that they, in one of the sequences, they call you out on the fact that because you can basically only communicate through dialogue choices, they sort of have to trust you on blind faith, and they have no way of telling if you are sincere in the things you say or not.
That's funny.
So you notice one of the things about this area, there's a signboard that indicates that this was previously a puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it's fallen.
Yeah, it's broken.
But whereas there's one...
Suicide mission. Nice.
So this is again introducing us to more mechanics in the game.
Yeah. Assuming this one is just run past the gun.
No. It's even more literal.
We have to die to solve the puzzle?
Not quite that literal, but kind of.
Okay.
So
that turned off the gun.
That turned off the gun, no. So now we have to... Or turn the gun on. So now we have to disable the force field so that the mine will go through.
Gotcha. Ha. That's funny.
And then I pointed out some problems in the game's graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so mines can blow up guns. That's good to know.
Yeah, like as far as the puzzle mechanics go, they're not as crazy as Portal. Like this is a very simple game of put boxes on switches and like point things at other things, but they did a very good job of assembling them.
That's cool. I like it a lot.
It's not like Portal where they will be like, yeah, this puzzle doesn't have a solution, and then you have to figure out why that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So nice. So using a key just got you an extra jammer.
Yeah. And like half the difficulty in finding these stars is that they're just generally hidden away in the level. Like even if you can find all the parts to get them.
Alright, we got another QR code via sheep. I don't know what this place is, and nor does it seem anyone else. Nothing to do but move forward and note whatever I find. Whoa, that was some weird janky shit that just happened there.
Yeah, huh? That's strange.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely not suspicious at all.
Nope.
That's
cool.
At all.
Oh, but you can't bring it forward, but you've got windows. That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of puzzles that are based on this kind of hand-over-hand monkey bars mechanic of, like, knocking things down.
That's really neat.
And,
so now we can go around.
You gotta...
Yeah, I gotta jam this one. I have to. I gotta do that concept I learned 2 puzzles ago again.
Oh wow!
I actually did this wrong. You're supposed to use the. There's a much easier way to do it that I just didn't do.
You use that one to jam the inside. Yeah, you're dumb.
It was possible, so I did it. I'm only human. Oh man!
Are you? Hey, we got all of A.
Hey!
God damn it.
We're all going to make that joke, yep.
You're all fired.
You can't fire me. I'm the one that runs the company.
I can fire you, John. Zach. I'm tired.
Oh. I don't know that I have an official position yet.
Yeah, you got business cards.
Vice editor. Official pun master.
I think that's Josh.
That might be Josh now, yeah.
We seem to have everything, unless
Josh is also court rapper.
Yeah, it's true. So are we just doing a last roll through to see if there's anything on the outskirts we missed?
Yeah. Also, just kind of appreciating the environment.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
The one thing I can't do through an LP that is one of the things that's kind of interesting about this game is just there's like. It really encourages you to go and explore the environments.
So Bob says, something strange has come into the world, like a distortion, like something that's not supposed to exist. A beautiful voice speaks within it, and one with faith says, that voice is not supposed to be here, it is not the work of the designer. We must avoid these abnormalities, or they might spread and undermine the very fabric of our world. So there is an opposition.
So, okay, and that's where presumably the little glitch thing we experienced earlier was from that.
It might be, yes.
So...
Oh, there was it again.
So, the devil, maybe?
Or at least the snake in the garden.
Yeah, or if we want to go with the Buddha analogy from that one email, Mara, I guess. The cat is upset.
Meow.
Your cat does not like the implication of a force that exists to dissuade us from the path to righteousness.
That's not the loud cat. That's the quiet cat, which is weird, I think.
Yeah. That's that skybox though, goddamn.
Yeah. Them skyboxes cry.
Oh yeah. Alright, so that looks like that's the end of World 2?
Yep.
Alright, we're out of here.
We're out skis. Peace.
One thing I did notice that's pretty cool is that both worlds so far have had a awakening bed.
An awakening bed?
So like
the altar that you start the game on.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Alright, well, good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, Internet.